The topic this morning is Haiti, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about and indeed to bring us up to date in reference to the country of Haiti, because I think a large number of folks are familiar with what has happened in Haiti quite recently, but Dr. LMadu has some additional information. And Dr. LMadu, the information that we're talking about is for you to simply sort of give us some information relative to Haiti itself, how Haiti became Haiti, and then sort of move on up to some of the current political situations that's developing in Haiti.
Yes, thank you very much, giving me an opportunity to enlighten our audience about what is happening to that great Republic of Haiti. I say great because the antecedents of how Haiti became independent is well known. The heroic struggle of the slaves to cast out, the oppressive French rule. And when we talk of Haiti, that's just a small country, in area of land, about the size of Maryland, not too big, that's been going through a lot of political and economic convulsions for a long time. And I'm sure most of the audience is aware that Haiti actually, is the first black independent republic in the world since 1804, when the slaves rose, and fought, the armies of Napoleon Bonaparte and established an independent state. And of course, most people have been asking, if it became the first republic in 1804, the first black republic in 1804, how come it's so backwards? How come there are so many problems? How come,
That's why we're here. That's exactly, those are the questions that are very good.
That's true. Everybody asks that question. And most people are baffled, that the country that's been independent for over 200 years, should still have these kind of problems. What most people don't understand is that because of, the way Haiti became independent, it became what you call a pariah state as soon as it became independent. The United States refused to recognize Haiti. The French and other European powers refused to recognize Haiti's independence because they felt that recognizing a republic that was found based on slavery rebellion is not a good sign for themselves. The United States feared that if they recognized Haiti, of course the slaves in the United States would want the same thing anyway. There are some other French colonies too that have slaves. They didn't want to encourage that either. The Dutch have slaves. The Portuguese, they didn't want to encourage that either. So that was very important. So what happened, that when this European power decided to isolate Haiti, Haiti was not part of the international economic and political system. It became an isolated republic, nobody to trade with, and that helped, make the country, a very poor place. Secondly, when the French were kicked out, they were upset, naturally. What did they do? They imposed, a crushing financial reparation on Haiti. And Haiti,
it's hard for us to understand that. Exactly what are you saying when you say this financial reparations? Explain that.
Well, of course, the Haitian government had to be paying the French government, millions of dollars every year until almost 1920-something.
Because of the war.
Because of the war, just to get back on the slaves, because they had the audacity, so to speak, to kick out the French masters. So what happened? When the French government was busy spending money they would use to build up the infrastructure, build schools, build hospitals, turn it over to the French, the government was left with nothing to operate with, had no operating budget. Okay? When the Haitian government had to turn over all this money to the French, what else does it do? It goes back to borrow this money from the French and the Germans and the American banks to finance projects, thereby
creating an interest and in a real sense, not ever being able to get out of a debt.
Exactly,
like that.
Exactly, not being able to get out of debt. So since 1804, all subsequent Haitian governments have been bankrupt. Not because they chose to. Yeah, we can add some corruption into the mix, but basically that economic strangulation help
that
put,
reparations they're paying.
Exactly.
And of course, Dr. Madu, we're getting ready for this first commercial break, and after which we'll come back and we'll pick up that particular point. And at the same time, to make our audience not only aware of this financial situation, but what other political things in reference to Haiti. I think there have been recent developments politically, and we'll talk about that. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.
Hi.
Us some information about